of the challenges we have in macroeconomics is measuring the money supply. How much money is there out there? And so we have come up with 3 basic measures. The first measure is a measure of the currency. How much currency has been printed and put out in circulation. But that's not really a very useful measure because there are all kinds of other forms of money that work just like currency. And so we have a measure we call M1. M1 meaning money supply 1. And M1 includes 4 things. Of course, it includes currency, but it also includes demand deposits. Demand deposits are money that you have deposited, but that you can have access to anytime you need it instantly. Second of all would be traveler's checks. Now, most of you are too young to remember traveler's checks because nowadays we just use our credit cards when we travel. But when I was younger, what you did was you took some money to the bank and you purchased traveler's checks. They were usually from a company like, I don't know, American Express or somebody. And these looked like money, but they had a place to sign in 2 places. And you would sign all the checks in one place, and then they were numbered, and you would keep the stubs in a separate place. And you could use them just like cash anywhere in the world. Now, the difference, of course, is that if you lose those, it's not like money. If you lose money or currency, it's gone. But if you lose your traveler's checks, you could take the stubs to a bank, and they would replace them with your traveler's checks. Third, we have checkable deposits. Checkable deposits would be bank accounts that you can write checks on. And that works just like money. Writing out checks nowadays is effectively the same as using currency. And of course, finally, we have the currency. Now, the currency actually belongs to the Federal Reserve. If you look at it, they're Federal Reserve notes. And the Federal Reserve has those manufactured by the U.S. government at the mint. But the coins actually come from the Treasury. So they come from 2 different places. Now, the second measure of money we call M2. It's very clever. And M2 includes M1. So everything in M1 is included. In addition to that, we have savings deposits. So when you put money in a savings account, there are sometimes it takes a little work to get it out. It might take a few days or a few hours, but it's not quite the same thing as being able to write a check on it. Secondly, are small time deposits. You can deposit money with a bank for a short period of time. They will earn interest, usually what's called a certificate of deposit. And that money is not instantly available, but it could be borrowed on or used relatively quickly. Next, we have money market mutual funds. So this allows us to deposit money, and then the mutual fund deposits it into a variety of banks with time deposits earning higher interest. Now, the money market mutual fund itself is not quite that easy to get the money out. However, I have my money in money market mutual funds, all of it, and then I have a checking account that's tied to it so I can write out checks, and then they take the money out of the mutual fund to cover my checks as needed. I don't write out very many checks, but when we need one, it's there. And finally, there are other minor categories. One of the questions that comes up is, where do credit cards fit in? Are they in M1 or are they in M2? The answer is neither. Credit cards are not a form of money. Credit cards are a form of loans. When you use a credit card, you are using somebody else's money, and that money's already been counted in their deposits. So we don't want to count it twice. So credit cards are not part of the money supply. Now we have all of this currency, and we have trillions of dollars of currency that have been printed. Some of that currency, we don't know where it is. Large amounts of it are missing. Where is all that currency? We know about the currency in the US that's in banks. We know about the currency that most people carry around with them in their wallets. We're pretty good at measuring that. But where's all the rest of the currency? We're talking about billions of dollars that are missing. Well, some of that money is outside the US being used for legitimate trade. Many of the countries like to use cash to trade between them, and they all recognize and accept the dollar. Second, there are countries who have decided that they're tired of hyperinflation, and they've chosen to use the dollar as their currency. Ecuador, El Salvador, and Zimbabwe, and some others have made that their currency. If you go to those countries, everybody's using dollars. So they had to get a bunch of our dollars in order to create a currency for themselves. And finally, there's a large amount of illegal trade, drug trade and so forth that takes place, like we've seen in the movies, where they bring the briefcase in full of money. And so billions of dollars of currencies out there moving around.